All right, now, went to Home Depot, returned the fan. And I thought I was just going to get out of there, but Mike pulled me over, so I started talking to Mike inside. And one thing leads to another, and as we're walking around talking, I found these things. Two of these. It's not a great price, but it's a good price. They're not bad lights, and the way my wife loses lights, these are great. It's only 150 lumens, but you know what? Just for her to get around the yard without tripping in between the light turning on and off, it's fine. Two of them were $10 with batteries. They're not all that bad. All right. And like I say, if she loses it, she didn't lose an expensive light. I mean, I got a light over here. This one here is a Surefire with the charger and the two batteries. This cost me like $130. Well, naturally, I'm not going to want her to lose this light. Now, this is a bulb. This isn't one of those new high-tech jobs, but this light's about 5 years, 6 years old. So anyway, I got those lights. Then I need a couple of bulbs that I didn't have. I have them on order. Buy these at Home Depot. I think they were $8 a piece. I get them for like $2.75 a piece on the internet. I usually go to, I believe it's 1001bulbs.com or 1001.com, something like that. And I usually order, half a dozen of those, half a dozen of par 30s for outside, long neck. So I decide they're here if I need them, because the shipping is usually free, and for what I pay for one, I can buy almost four of them. So it's better for me to order, half a dozen of those, half a dozen of the other ones on the net. Now the other thing is, the other night we lost power. Now we do have a generator, however, it's not set up to auto start, so I have to go downstairs and kill the main so I don't electrocute anybody, and then turn on the other breaker so I can feed in to the main box. But I have to go out and I have to start it. Well, I had woken up. I was laying on the couch, falling asleep on the with the laptop on the little end table there, a coffee table, and I fell asleep. And I woke up about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was pitch black in the house. The only light that I had was the light off of the laptop, because naturally when the power goes out, the battery's there. So it was still giving me some glow from the screen. And I realized that we are in the pitch black. So I decided just to hang around for a few minutes, just lay there and see what goes on, and check the internet on the phone to see if there was any time that they thought it may or may not be. So we can go, I'm sure you can do it in other towns and states, but we can go to our local UI or our local news. There's a paper there, and it'll tell us how many are out, where the outage is, what the problem was, and the expected time that's going to be out. So it kind of gives you a whole rundown, so you don't have to, try to call the UI company, and if you're on a cordless phone, that isn't going to work. So it kind of helps. Now, it helps if you have internet. Now, there's still a lot of people out there that don't have it. Some of the old timers just don't understand it, and if they don't understand it, they don't want it. But anyway, after about a half an hour, 40 minutes or whatever it was, and it's still not coming on, let me just go start the generator. The battery on the computer is only going to last you so long. They say it's 6 hours, but when you're continually putting the charge into it, you kind of kill the life of the battery. So I get about 40 minutes out of it. But anyway, make a long story short, started up the generator, and about 3 o'clock or so the power came back on. Now, that reminded me, emergency lighting. In our other house, I had a square fluorescent type, but it was a 1 foot square emergency lighting, and it was just a nice decorative little 1 foot square fluorescent, and it was emergency lighting. So I hooked it up in the main hallway. This way if the power ever went out, that turned on, and if I turn the switch off, I can still use it as a hallway light by turning the power off on it. And then when I'm done, I turn the power back on. It would just work in reverse. And with the power being on, the light would go off. Then if we lost power, the light would come on automatically. So I was thinking, you know, again, my wife has a habit of losing flashlights. It could be right next to the nightstand, but if she goes to grab it, she's going to end up knocking it over, not being able to find it. I mean, I can just see this all happening while I'm trying to get out there and start the generator. So I decided I couldn't find another decorative light like I had. So I just grabbed this one, which is an LED version. It's not too bad, but you know, here it is. And it's an emergency lighting. So when the power goes out, it kicks on. Now, I don't know what the lumens are. I really don't care. If it's pitch black, you don't need a lot of light to see where you're going. This is just going to be a light to turn on in the main hallway to give a little bit of a glow throughout the house. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, you can walk around without tripping over things. So I'm going to hook that up. So this way, if we do lose power at night, again, I don't have to worry about the wife or myself tripping over things while I'm trying to get out or find a flashlight or whatever to start the generator. Now, I always keep a flashlight nearby. It's always within reach, but again, you may reach for it, you may knock it off the stand, you never know. So, excuse me, guys. So, it was 40 bucks, but I think it was 40 bucks well spent. This way I can just put this up there and I don't have to worry about it. So that's what I'm going to do there. So I bought the two flashlights, basically disposables, because the wife will lose them in the yard and we'll find them next year. I bought this for emergency lighting. I bought a couple of bulbs. I bought some more fire starter bricks. And then they had these little wax cups that are also fire starters that a friend of mine down there says that that's what he uses. And they work real good. So I bought a pack of those as well. It's better than trying to rub two sticks together and if you're trying to get a fire. So, and that's basically where I'm at. So I started out the fire outside. I started the fire out in here. And now I'm going to putz around in here for a little bit. And once I start getting some heat build up in the exchanger out there, I am going to fire up that fan that I put in there just to see what it actually does do for me. However, it's not that cold out, believe it or not. So, you know, that I really need it. Today is not a day for me to really check to see if it's going to heat the place up. However, it's a good day for me to check to see how much air I'm going to get out instead of the air going in. So that's basically where I'm at. So, alright guys, I'll get back to you as soon as I decide what I'm doing.